Okay, this is my 2009 Toyota Matrix 2.4 liter. This is a car that recently was offered an enhanced warranty due to complaints of excessive oil consumption. I recently had an oil consumption test done at Toyota, and despite the fact that I have put more than 3 quarts of oil in this car since the last oil change, they told me that the car passed with flying colors and that over the course of 1,200 miles it did not burn any oil. They checked for leaks and said there were no leaks, so they sent me on my way. So I decided that I am going to document this myself. I just performed an oil change, and the miles on the car, as you can see, are 121,505. This problem with the burning of the oil began at about 90,000 miles. So let's go around and let's do a check of the oil level. Take the dipstick out, wipe it off, take it back out, put it right there, and you should be able to see on there. Gotta turn it. But the oil is all the way up. It's very clean. It's very brand new oil. I use a full synthetic 5W20 Mobile 1 oil, but it is all the way up to the second hole. So I'm going to do a weekly or bi-weekly check, and we'll see how it goes. Okay, here we are. It is October 2nd, and we're at 122,308 miles, and we're going to go and see what the dipstick reads now. As you can see, it is about a third of a quart to almost half a quart below where it was before. This is the car that doesn't leak or burn any oil, according to Toyota. So I'm going to top it off, and then we'll check it again later. Today is October 14th, and we're at 123,525 miles, and I'm going to go check the oil. Look at that. Almost 3 quarters of a quart low. So I'm going to add 3 quarters of a quart. Okay, I just added some oil. So let's check it again. And we're pretty much up to the full line there, a little below the top dot. And so we'll check it again in a couple of weeks. Okay, November 11th, we're at 124,793 miles, and we're going to go check the oil. in, take it out, and we are about a quarter of a quart low. You can see right there, the line's right about there. So I'm going to put a quarter of a quart in. Cap back on. And we'll give it another check. Wipe the dipstick. And do another check. And there you go. Right up to the dot. And check it again in a few weeks. Okay, it is December 10th, 2016. It's been several weeks since the last check. We're at 125,555 miles. So I'm going to go around front and do a check. See that? Almost an entire quart low. About half to 3/4 of a quart low. Car's on a little bit of a slant maybe. Can you see it? Yeah. Oil's getting dirty. Ready for another oil change soon. Alright. And we're up to about maybe a quarter of a quart low. Check. Alright, I'm going to add just a little tad more. This one out. Sometimes it gets hard to check when you've been in and out. So there we are, pretty much right up to the top. Yeah, close. It's a little bit low. Again, the car is on a very, very slight angle. So there we go. Alright, it's January 16th, 2017, and I'm going to be doing an oil change here. So this will be the last check for this cycle. So we're at 126,641 miles. So that's about 5,100 miles from the last oil change, a little over 5,000 miles. And it's it's about 1,080 miles from the last time that I checked the oil, where I put in somewhere between 5/8 and 3/4 of a quart. So this is going to be the last check of this cycle. and we'll see how much oil is missing. Alright. Set up right here. Let's see what we got. Wipe the dipstick off. Let's put it back in. And we're going to take it out. This dirty oil, and look at that. It is about 3/4 of a quart low. 3/4 of a quart. And remember, this is a car that doesn't leak or burn any oil according to Toyota. So I'm going to go ahead and change the oil and upload these videos. Okay, we're on round 2 of the Toyota that doesn't burn any oil. Just did an oil change. We're at 126,641, and now I'm going to go around the front to verify that the crankcase is completely full with brand new oil. Let's set this guy up right here. Pull out the dipstick. Give it one wipe. Put it back in. And then let's take it out. And we can see, I don't know if you can tell, it's kind of hard, but pretty much almost exactly right up to the dot. Right there. Can you see that? Alright, until next time. Okay, here we are. It is February 13th. It is just under a month since the last oil change, which was January 16th. And as you can see, we're at 689 miles on the odometer. And if I, and I had set that to 0 after the last oil change. And the last time I checked the oil. Go to here, and we can look at the actual miles. 127,330, so we can do the math. It's been about, just under 700 miles since I checked the oil last. It was at the full mark after doing an oil change. So let's go check it and see what it's at now. Okay, gonna do one wipe. I'm gonna put it back in. And right there, you can very clearly see we're almost a half a quart low. So I'm gonna go ahead and top it off. That's not good. Let's see where we're at. Okay. just under the full mark. Just put a little bit more out. Don't want to overfill it. Now let's see where we are. Let's take it out. Good wipe. Check it again. And just about perfect. Right at the full mark. See that? Right at the full mark. Alright, till next time. Okay, it's March 18th. As you can see here, we last checked at 127,330. And we are now at 128,128. So that's about 800 miles. So let's go around and see if any oil has burned. Up, wipe, and let's go check. Wow. There you go. You can see that pretty clear. More than a quart. Half a quart, I should say. Just a little over half a quart burned. Let's fill it up. Alright. Alright, just a tad more. Alright. Alright, let's give it another quick check. And we're a little shy. So I'm going to put in just a little bit more. Man, I put a lot of oil in there. That should do it. Give it a second to settle in. Let's check it one more time. And it's perfect. Right up to the full mark. Alright, here you go. The car that Toyota claims does not leak or burn any oil. Alright, it is April 13th, and I've gone ahead and written today's date down, current mileage, which as you can see on the dashboard, 128,777 miles. So it's a little less than a month since the last time we checked, and it looks like we've gone 649 miles. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pop the hood and see how much oil that this car does not burn. Let's go around the front. Ahead of time. All right, let's see what we got. Give it a clean wipe. wipe. Huh. Well, look at that. Well, I'm gonna put credit where credit is due. It's actually doesn't look like much has got burned out at all. I'm gonna give it one more dip. Yeah. Nothing really to be concerned about. Maybe an eighth to a quarter of a quart over 650 miles. It's actually not bad. I'm gonna let it go, and I will note in my book. Until next time. Alright, it is May 8th, 2017. We're at 129,810 miles, as you can see on the odometer. And over here in my book, I have written down the date. Oh, it's the 9th, excuse me, May 9th. It's been 1,033 miles since the last time I checked. Last time I checked, it was maybe missing an eighth to a quarter, which really, for this car, is almost negligible. So I didn't top it off. So at that point, it was 649 miles. So we're talking about almost 1,700 miles since the last time I put any oil in, and I put 5/8 of a quart in last time. Let's go ahead and check and see what we got in there now. All right, review. Put it in, and out we come. And it is a solid quart low. You see that? It's barely even showing up. Yeah. Yeah. I'm gonna stick it in there one more time. Yeah, it's almost an entire quart low. So you can imagine driving this car between oil changes without topping the oil off. I'd blow the engine up. So I'm going to go ahead and top it off. Finish up the Castrol. There's about a quarter of a quart in there. Add this to the pile of empty 5-quart containers in my trunk. Open up the